Hello, my name is Chris Hayde and I am the Director of Students and Families here at Desert Hills Presbyterian Church. And I'm so excited for what is happening in April. Obviously, it starts out pretty amazing. It's Easter. And so we are excited for Easter here. We've got a multiplicity of services, but we have two specific services, the 9:30 and the 11, that we will be offering children's programs. So both those hours, we've got Clubhouse, which is our preschool ministry, which is 0 to 5 years old, and our Studio 15, which is our elementary K through 5. So again, Easter is kicking us off strong, but we've got some pretty cool themes. So let's go ahead and start out in the Clubhouse. The opening theme is Fly a Kite. And at the checkout, you can grab one of these papers. This gives you an overview of all the different themes, Bible verses, stories that we're going to be talking about in the month of April. So feel free to grab one of these. If you'd like one of these emailed, just let us know and we will shoot one of these out to you. So, April theme, Fly a Kite. Check out this video and it will give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to be talking about here at the Clubhouse.
So, have you ever wondered how high a kite has ever been flown? Well, I'll tell you. There was a man in Australia named Robert Moore who flew a kite over 3 miles high. Whoa. Now, do you know how deep is the deepest part of any ocean? Are you ready for this? The deepest part of the ocean is called Challenger Deep, and it's almost 7 miles deep. Now that's pretty incredible. But as impressive as Mr. Moore's high-flying kite is, and as mind-blowing as the deep waters of Challenger Deep are, we are going to be talking about something even higher and even deeper this month, the love of Jesus. Jesus' love for you and me is so wide and long and high and deep that we can't even measure it. And we are going to have a lot of fun introducing this truth to our preschoolers this month. We kick everything off by sharing the amazing true story about why we celebrate Easter. We'll teach our preschoolers that Jesus is special because Jesus is God's Son. Jesus did amazing things and showed us how to love one another. But then angry people hurt Jesus so bad that he died. But Jesus came back, just like he said he would. Yes, Jesus is alive and he wants to be our friend forever. Week 2 is one of my favorite stories about Jesus and his disciples. Okay, can you imagine how the disciples felt when they saw Jesus standing on the shore after they thought he was dead? Before they knew it, they're sitting around a fire eating a breakfast that Jesus had cooked for them. Jesus was really alive and he wanted to make sure his friends knew it. He wanted to make sure his friends knew that he is alive and that he is going to be their friend forever. And that's what we want preschoolers to know. Jesus is alive and he wants to be their friend forever too. And week 3 is all about what Jesus wants us to do now that he's gone to get heaven ready for us. Jesus wants us to love one another. And loving one another looks like helping one another, sharing with one another, and being kind to one another. When we love like Jesus, people will believe us when we tell them that Jesus is alive and he wants to be their friend forever. Which leads us right into week 4, the Great Commission. Yes, Jesus wants to be my friend forever, but not just my friend forever. Jesus wants to be everyone's friend forever, and he told us to make sure everyone knows it. Young and old, we can all tell others about Jesus, and he will always be with us to help us do it.
All right, pretty cool. So not only do we have a theme in the Clubhouse, we've got a theme in our elementary, and the theme for the elementary is called Reconnect. It's all about peace and building bridges with God and one another. So for the Clubhouse, for the Studio 15, we actually have 2 different sheets. We have one that is for K through 3rd grade. It gives you an idea of what the different themes and topics are, the Bible verses, and this will mirror along with the video that is on YouTube. And then for our 4th and 5th graders, our preteen, we have a different video on YouTube that's a little more age specific. So make sure you grab one of these at the check-in. But for an idea of what we're going to be talking about in our elementary program in April, check this out.
let's play an opposites game. What is the opposite of sweet? Sour, of course. What's the opposite of left? Right, and you were correct, I'm sure. Okay, what's the opposite of fast? Slow. Who said breakfast? Half point. Okay, those are easy, but how about one more? What is the opposite of anger? It's a little different, isn't it? Maybe it's love or forgiveness, or what about peace? Think about this for a second. Do you want your kids to grow up to be angry? I'm talking about out of control, self-centered, short-fused, I'm gonna hurt somebody if I don't get my way kind of anger. Of course not. After all, you don't have to look very hard in our communities to see the damage that kind of anger can do. It's the reason fights break out on the basketball court. It's the reason bullying is a critical issue in schools everywhere. It's the reason why you've stopped reading the comments on social media. The truth is, there are a lot of people who are walking around angry. Somehow they grew up and missed a simple principle that's critical to life. Building a bridge is often more important than building a wall. Now, of course, I'm not talking about literal bridges like the Golden Gate or the George Washington, but it's often too easy for us to build walls of anger rather than build bridges of peace. Getting along with each other, keeping the peace, requires us to set something aside or give something up for the sake of a lasting relationship. A relationship that is most likely more important than whatever caused the fight in the first place. Simply put, peace will cost you something. And the sooner we help kids understand this idea about peace, the better chance they'll have at getting along with each other, even when the stakes are high. We define peace for kids like this: proving that you care more about others than winning an argument. And we define peace for adults the same way. Peace is hard. It often requires taking the first step towards justice and reconciliation. It might even involve giving away a right or a possession, or maybe just a little bit of your ego. But just think what could happen if we taught kids how to pursue peace in a way that honors God. Maybe we could start by getting everyone to memorize something like Paul said in Romans 14:19. So let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another. Think about that. Paul is challenging us to do all we can to live in peace. He stresses how important it is for us to do everything in our power to build a bridge, to fix what is broken between us and someone else. After all, this is what God did for us. So it's fitting that week 1 of April is Easter Sunday, the day we celebrate that Jesus is alive. God went to great lengths to fix what was wrong between us and him. When God looked across humanity and saw the brokenness of our relationship with him, he proved he cared about us by sending Jesus, his only son, to die, to build a bridge and resolve the conflict that existed. Bottom line, God made peace with us. In week 2, we take a look at something Paul wrote to the church in Colossae. In Colossians 3:15, we read, "Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful. Because Jesus made peace with us, we can turn around and show that same peace to others." Now, this doesn't mean it will be easy, but it does mean that it's possible. Bottom line, we can make peace with others. Then in week 3, we find out how Abraham's son Isaac put peace into practice as well. In Genesis 26, there's a story about Isaac moving to a region where he reclaimed the wells that had belonged to his father. For years, no one cared about the wells until they were reopened. Then everyone started fighting over them. But instead of fighting, Isaac decided to give away the wells in order to make peace. Isaac simply walked away from what was rightfully his. And by walking away from the fight, those people changed their opinion about Isaac and decided to trust him. Bottom line, you can show you care about others by walking away from a fight. We finish our month on peace in 1 Samuel 25, where we find a story about a woman named Abigail. But it starts with King David. He was furious with a man who mistreated his soldiers. He decided to get revenge until the man's wife, Abigail, intercepts him with gifts to make peace, and she apologizes. Her peacemaking skill stops something that could have been horrible. Even though she was not responsible for her husband's offense, she realized she could play a role in making peace. Bottom line, you can show you care about others by being part of the solution. Peace is at the heart of God's character, and we reflect God when we're working to build a bridge of peace in our relationships. Peace comes down to this. If God was willing to give his son so that we can have peace with him, what are you willing to do? What bridge are you willing to build? How can you reconnect with others? Sometimes you have to know when to walk away. Sometimes you have to be willing to give up something. Sometimes you have to get involved if you want to be a peacemaker. The point is, when you make peace, you make others understand they matter more than the argument or they matter more than the things. Let's help kids grow up and learn to do whatever they can to fix what's wrong between them and someone else. Let's help them learn to make peace a priority in their life. Because I'm pretty sure the opposite of peace is always terrible.
So again, we're so excited to be ministering to your kiddos and your young students. April's going to be a really cool month. Both themes just hit it home. And honestly, it's all about Jesus. It's all about his love and what he did on that great day, the greatest day of all time. And it gives us the opportunity to tell the story, the greatest story of all time, to each and every person that God places in our path. So I'm excited. Again, just a reminder, for Easter Sunday, we have 2 hours that we're going to be having children's program, the 9:30 and the 11 o'clock. On the other 3 Sundays of April, we're back to our normal schedule of 9:30. So we meet during the second service in both the Clubhouse and Studio 15. And for those who cannot make it live, we have opportunities to watch these on YouTube. And you probably know about that or you wouldn't be seeing this video, but you can check out all our Sunday morning services for our children's at the Desert Hills Presbyterian YouTube channel. And you can also check them out at the DHPC Kids YouTube channel. If you do watch our videos, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you can get the notifications, and share. We would love these videos to go out and be able to bless many different families. And of course, we really want to see your family and a whole bunch of other young families here at Desert Hills each and every Sunday. So make sure you invite a friend. But until May, I will see you then. Bye-bye.